Hello, Internet. I'm Jackie Fox, and welcome, War of the Visions fans. As of the producer's letter this morning, apparently, even though there are still some kind of outstanding rewards that are still happening, the free pulls are still happening for the rest of the week. The countdown stuff is still counting down, but the producer's letter said that Worldwide is now here, even though we're still like 2 days left in the countdown or whatever. So, that raises an interesting question. Now, there have been a lot of complaints about the way that Worldwide has been rolled out, and I have covered those in a series of videos. You can check any of those out. I'll put some of them in the description or something so that you can find those. I haven't been super critical of them. I've been a little bit more forgiving, I guess, than some commentators have been. But there is still one really major and glaring issue that I feel, two actually, that I feel it would be a disservice not to mention. The first one, honestly, is the one that I care probably the least about in some ways, but also I think is probably the most important. That's why I'm putting it up front. And that is that, well, the glaring and obvious problem here, the one that's definitely the hardest to fix, because this is easily a month of content, if not more, if not a little bit more, is that there is a lot of missing content at this point. Like, we saw a schedule in the producer's letter, and it talks about us getting September content, War of the Visions JP's September content in October, alongside Halloween stuff. But that leaves me wondering, with that schedule neatly laid out before us, what's happened to the people who got skipped? Like, they started this out by promising us that they wouldn't cut content. They wouldn't skip content to make Worldwide happen. But while, again, this could be fixed, it would be a little bit more crunchy. It would be like extending the crunch, because they would have to kind of double up releases for a little while longer. But where is Melnia? She's the highest cost and probably highest consequence unit that is missing. But where is Melnia? Where is Bronwell? Even easier to introduce, where is Comral? He's a free unit. They don't even get their own week, really. They get released. Like, they could do Comral and Melnia on the same week. They could do Comral and Bromwell on the same week. Where's Melnia's VC? Where is, I think this is Bronwell's VC. And then I guess this event is coming, but like this whole event, the VC, the Esper, I'm looking forward to that. I don't remember if that was on the schedule, but these are all things that it seems we should have gotten by now. It seems that when they went ahead to Shelza, they just skipped a whole month of content, and honestly, to me, in a big way, it feels like this producer's letter washes a bit of that under the rug. But the part that sticks in my craw the most, personally, and I think longtime viewers will know what this is and know that it has been bugging me for a while, even though I haven't said anything about it. I have been very patiently waiting for the Pixel Remaster update, which would update all of the past collaborations to Dream Awakening and Master Ability 2 status. I mean, where is my boy Noctis 140 with an MA2? Bring him up to parity. Like, I know he's not going to be as good as other units. He's only a 90 cost anyway. He's not going to be equitable to Melnia, right? I'm still going to have a reason as another player to pull Melnia, potentially. But, like, give me a fully decked out modern Noctis, please. But, like, this goes double for every other collaboration, too, because I understand that my desire to get a 140 Noctis is maybe a little bit unique within the community, maybe a little bit niche. But come on, y'all. Like, I'm sure you have a unit that you would favor as well. Maybe it's Tidus, maybe it's Yuna. Maybe it's Lightning, maybe it's Snow. Maybe it's hope, for fuck's sake. Maybe you were just waiting for the chance to select one of the free units again. Maybe there was a collaboration that you missed because of when you came in and you were hoping that maybe you could get a copy of Tifa again or something like that. Maybe you were hoping to get another chance to pull Sephiroth. I think that was an option, potentially. Probably not a great time to have done it, but I think that was a thing that JP got. And there's just all of that was involved. And just, it was... Because I think that... I go back to one of the first videos that really got traction on this channel, the problem with collaboration units and why this is a larger problem for wotv in general, is that there's kind of a structural issue with the way that they update those units, in that they tend to wait for their collaboration to roll back around. It doesn't really generally roll back around until there's a new character or a new vision card or a new Esper or something to throw in with it, so that tends to take a while. It also has its own week that it has to occupy because of that's just tradition, because if you're releasing a new character, that has to have a new week. There's just not a background release schedule for that the same way that we've handled most of the Transcendence system. And I understand that limited characters, even like, and this also kind of extends to a lot of seasonal characters as well, but like a lot of limited characters, it just in general, you know, kind of suffer from the same thing, to where like their updates can't be background released. And at least with like summer units, holiday units, they're kind of set to be refreshed every year, which is okay. But you know, with the collaborations, especially with like, if you're talking about, if you know, we're probably not going to get Dragon Quest back until 2027 if the game's still alive. Like, your chances of getting a 140 slime are basically zero, at least before 2027 or something. And the thing that I gave them a lot of credit for, at least when it happened on JP, was the whole idea of the Pixel Remaster, like lifting all of those collaborations up to parity with modern units all at the same time. Not like minimal fanfare, you know, not just rolling out the fucking red carpet every week for a different collaboration, but just doing it all, ripping the band-aid off. Because, I mean, it injected a bit of variety into the game. It allowed some people who've been playing for a while, who hadn't been pulling for newer units, to kind of come into parity and have fun. I just think that a general strategy of giving you more options to players that have been playing for a while, players who might be coming back, who have some of the older units and are suddenly relevant again. I just think this makes a really appealing entry point into the game for a lot of newer returning players. It's just helpful, and it also kind of brings down the cost in some meaningful ways, but not necessarily the effort. You still have to build up a character. It's not like they're giving you a character. You still have to have them and have them built up. You still have to put the resources in, but, you know, it's a character that you've been pulling in the background as you're pulling on banners for newer characters, you know, and if it's like an 80 cost, it's not at that 100 cost, like, drop rate either. And the Pixel Remaster update would have been a boon for a lot of 80 and 90 cost units that have been historically good. Again, snow, lightning, etc. That don't really look like they're... I mean, we're getting Final Fantasy VIII before we're getting any of this. We've seen the next month's schedule and it's not on it. So, like, when are we getting any of this stuff? Are we just gonna pretend that, like, it didn't happen? I don't understand. Somebody help me get this in the comments, please. But regardless, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I do shorts about new Transcendence updates because, like I was saying with Pixel Remaster, I think that Transcendence, like updating old units into kind of new parity, that goes for LB upgrades, MA2s, that kind of thing. Anything that makes an older unit that you might have been building up in the background or slow building for a long time relevant again, or more relevant again, if they've remained relevant despite not being fully upgraded. Those are the things I like to keep my audience informed about the most, because I think that that's kind of the most equitable kind of way of being able to play the game. in that it really like allows you to slow build for things. You find a unit that you like, you may not build it in time for it to be like super meta relevant, because you get it a little bit late, you don't pull your extra copies, you didn't have the extra resources to pour into it to get it like 99 on its, or 128 or 140 on its banner. So you're playing it later when it's getting updated. You know, it benefits a slower playstyle, and I think for games that really want you to play for a long term, like these games tend to, games that want to build a habit over time for players, that anything that kind of rewards you having put in that time and loyalty to the game, it seems like those are just great. So you can expect to get a shorter to a week based on what's getting upgraded or updated this week, and longer videos like this one or like others, unit overviews, showcases, all sorts of footage from, you know, playing an arena, that kind of thing. And I also do Ever Crisis content as well, because that's shaping out to be pretty fun and kind of a different approach to a gacha, kind of a different perspective than this one, and I think an interesting and kind of needed one. So I've got something for everybody. If you play one of those two games, you'll enjoy the content on this channel. If you would like to hear my voice more often or hear my words, read my words, I do have podcasts, other video channels, as well as books that help pay the bills for me. You can find links to all of that. That is the Linktree link in the description. Leads to all sorts of fantastic things. Be sure to check that out before you leave. And you know what? I'll see you in the next one. So thank you for tuning in.